NFL prop queen edges for Sunday that are a bit early, but we'll talk about them. Starting with Drake May to go under his completions. Again, ChatGPT made this, so sorry for any typos. I needed it to make it while Matt was talking because I didn't have time to make graphics. That's how I've been busy today. Anyway, here's NFL. Good game, Pats Bills, and apparently, according to our guy John Ewing, the Pats are pretty they need the Pats. The Bills are the most public side. Oh no, that's not good. Maybe it bounces back. I'm glad to hear that you're adding and apparently at BetMGM, the Buffalo Bills are the most bet on side of the weekend. So congratulations to the Patriots. You win. Just kidding. But the Pats are getting 1.5. Drake May under 20.5 completions. So he had 22 in the first matchup with the Bills. Again, I don't like the same thing that happened twice. Against teams that are top 10 against the pass, May's gone under in 3 of 5, and all of those 3 were at home. Buffalo's allowed the least completions per game at 16 to 17. 85% of quarterbacks have gone under their completions prop against Buffalo this year. Buffalo has also been really good against tight ends, so I would stay away or bet an under on Hunter Henry this week. I'm probably just staying away from Hunter Henry because even though he's faced Buffalo, he went 2 catches, 46 yards. Vegas, 4 catches, 66 yards. Atlanta, 4 catches, 51 yards. Went over in all 3 against top 10 defenses against tight ends. He's getting Buffalo again. And he's gone under in 6 of 7 against Buffalo, with the lone exception being that game on October 5th where he had 46. Henry's averaging 29 receiving yards a game against the Bills. So I would stay away from Henry, or you could fade him. Marcus Mariota over 28.5 rushing yards. I know this one's also obscure. The Giants have allowed the 3rd most rushing yards per game to quarterbacks this year. There have been 2 games where Marcus Mariota got full snaps, and he was up against a team that also is struggling against mobile quarterbacks, or keeping them in the pocket. Dallas, Mariota had 2 rushes for 34 yards. Miami, 4 rushes for 49 yards. So you could look to Mariota over 28.5 rushing yards. My favorite play of that game, probably one of my best bets of the weekend, Commanders wide receiver Terry McLaurin over 22.5 yards for his longest reception. He only had a 14-yard catch against the Giants on September 7th, opening weekend. He's gone over McLaurin in 5 of 6 road games with Mariota. Over in 2 of 3 road games. I don't know why I'm saying that. Hold on. Over in 5 of 6 road games with Mariota. Averaging 31 yards per longest reception on the road without Zach Ertz, who's out for the season. The Giants' 4th most receiving yards per game allowed to wide receivers. So McLaurin, Scary Terry should be scary against those Giants. A trend that I always love to back, and you could fade it or not, but the Eagles against tight ends is always a trend. That trend is definitely your friend. We fade tight ends against the Eagles because especially when you get a player like Brock Bowers on Vegas, you fade the under 50.5 receiving yards. He faced the Chargers twice, and that's the only team he faced that's good against tight ends. He had 38 receiving yards and 63. Philly, 64% of tight ends have gone under their prop against the Eagles this year. They know that the only weapon that the Raiders really have is Brock Bowers. I mean, Ashton Genty's been good, but Brock Bowers is their main weapon. Contain him, and they're really good at it against tight ends. So Brock Bowers under his receiving yards is a good play. Green Bay and Denver. I know a lot of sharps who like Green Bay this week, -2.5. And it wouldn't surprise me if we see Bo Nix not being able to scramble against the Packers. Under 17.5 rushing yards. He's gone under in 3 of the 4 games where he's faced teams that are top 10 in rushing yards allowed to quarterbacks. And that's Green Bay. 2nd least rushing yards per game allowed to the position at 10. 77% of quarterbacks have gone under their rushing yard prop against Green Bay. Bo Nix has gone under in 4 of 6 home games. He only averages 13 rushing yards a game at home and 24 rushing yards a game on the road. So that's another drastic home road split to put in your pocket. Bo Nix, on the road, he runs more, 24 rushing yards a game. At home, only 13. So you could look to Bo Nix at home under 17.5 rushing yards. Last one. This one's another longest reception prop. Rams wide receiver Davante Adams over his longest reception. He's faced 4 defenses that are bottom 10 in receiving yards allowed to wide receivers. 25, 33, 21, and 24 yards for longest catch. So 3 of the 4 went over 22.5. In fact, Davante Adams has gone over 22.5 yards for longest catch in 5 of 6 home games. He did not have a big catch last week at Arizona. I don't like Puka Nacua because it's been 3 straight weeks with 30-plus yard catches. It's time for Davante Adams, who did not have a big catch last week. Detroit's allowed the 5th most receiving yards per game to wide receivers. 60% of wide receivers have gone over their longest reception prop in the last 10 games when facing Detroit.